because you don't have to do anything, because what's the point? And that's nihilism. Or depression. I mean, they're a little different, but they kind of go hand in hand. You can't have nihilism without depression and vice versa. They do tend to go hand in hand. That's one of the questions that they share, nihilism and depression, is what is the point? What is the point of doing anything? And then nihilism kind of dives into what is the point of doing anything if we're all going to crash and burn and everything's going to, And then the answer would be that there is no point, because in the grand scheme of everything, everything is meaningless, or our lives are meaningless, or whatever. My take on that, or my response to nihilism and depression, or just mostly nihilism, and to me, the way that I see it is that everything is consciously experienced in some way, shape, or form. I know for a fact I in the present moment am being consciously experienced as a being, but I just believe and have faith in the idea and the knowledge that every single person I interact with is also a conscious being. You never truly know, right? They could be fucking robots, whatever. And who knows, I kind of believe that robots can experience consciousness. That's just a personal thing. This is all personal. I'm not trying to push this on you. My answer to nihilism would be, for me personally, in my spirituality, in my creative engagement with life, is that every being, every person that I come across has a consciousness, obviously. This is something that I accept. Most of us accept this subconsciously. Some people don't, and you can argue that that's not real. But every person is experiencing consciousness. They are experiencing their reality within that being. And also creatures and beings are consciously experienced, dogs and whatever. And then I believe beyond that. And I also believe that inanimate objects and inanimate matter and all particles and everything have some type of consciousness, however incomprehensible that would be to you and I. And if that's not the case within this current mode of reality or this universe, within the extent of the multiverse and ultimate infinity, at some point within that spectrum of infinity, within multiple billions and infinite variations, there exist universes varying from what we experience that's exactly like this, but there is a conscious experience within the inanimate, to things that we can't even comprehend whatsoever within the grand scheme of ultimate infinity. So that kind of thought process accepts the reality that, that ultimate horror is being experienced, and that will be experienced, not necessarily by you, because you will die, but consciousness itself will experience ultimate horror. Unimaginable horror. All the people that have been tortured, all the people who are killing themselves right now, all the shit, all the bad shit, every bad thing, all the human trafficking and pedophilia, all that shit, all these terrible things are being experienced, and that's like an undeniable reality when you look at it that way. Even the most unimaginable hellscape, infinite, eternal bullshit, all that is being experienced, or has been experienced, or will be experienced by consciousness itself, right? And so it's like, that's crazy to think about, and of course, the nihilist can see that and be like, that just really hammers at home that nothing matters. But to me, when I see reality in that way, I say no, because now when I see it that way, it does matter now. Every experience matters, including the one that I'm experiencing, and it puts everything into focus. It's like all of a sudden every experience of consciousness that I have and everyone else around me has is something that matters heavily because they are experiencing it now. I'm experiencing this now. So just by the mere fact that I, as a singular point of consciousness, am experiencing Matthew Pennington and his woes and tribulations and hardships and back and forth successes of life and everything else, that means that this matters heavily to my singular consciousness, and also it matters for me to uplift those around me and do whatever I can to heighten the quality of life that someone else is experiencing around me. It's not my job. It's really my job to focus on my own. But whatever I can do to benefit the quality of life for those around me is something that I should definitely engage with and should take significant importance. Like whatever I can do naturally and engagingly to increase quality of life. Not that I have to go out of my way to sacrifice my own for others, unless if it really comes down to that, and that's the spirit of discernment. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, for the most part, you get what I'm saying. So that means everything matters. And also, I mean, yeah, ultimate horror is fundamentally experienced by consciousness, but so is ultimate bliss and happiness and heavenscape and all those things. Those are also equally experienced, if not more so, who knows. But within the landscape of infinity, we can't comprehend that or know. We can't ever know as this being. Maybe in other modes of being, if that exists. And I believe so, at least with the fundamental point of consciousness. Now, can this type of consciousness within this human body transfer over with the same knowledge as before, like some kind of linear spiritual path? That's a whole other topic. And within the landscape of infinity, I guess yes, so it would be, but is this mode of reality that way? That is up for debate. So within the landscape of the multiverse and infinity, yes. Within this specific mode of reality, we don't know. It could literally be you die and that's it. We have no idea. But it's about faith, right? So, yeah. And so, but that's a whole other thing.